Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I thought I would show you a couple of everyday bob styles that I have. They're my favorite bobs for being like a daily driver, a throw and go. They're a bit shorter than my other favorite bob, Euro Chic by Tress Allure, which is a little bit sitting on my shoulders. And because of my shortness and my short neck, I don't want them like rubbing on my shoulders all the time when I'm at work. So these are the bobs that I've been wearing at work for 9-10 hours a day. I have a little bit of a longer commute, so I wear them in the car to and from work as well, and they've really been holding up fabulously. They're from Belle Tress's Icons collection. Beckham is the style, and I have two colors, and I really wanted to show you a few little things about the fibers that might come up that are a little bit like not irritating, but they're just something that I don't like, a tiny little bit of a kink in the fiber. But other than that, they've been wearing amazingly and they take very well to my heat maintenance. The other bob I have to show you is a beautiful piece from Jon Renau, their HD collection, the second edition, the second chapter, part 2 of their HD collection, released back about 8 or 9 months ago. Holly was the big feature in the part 1, and I think Dawn is a really popular one that I'm going to show you today from part 2. Anyway, let me put my first Beckham on for you. This is the color Truffle Cream R, and it's a beautiful, very dark rooted color, and it is, I think it really appears neutral, slightly leaning warm. So like I said, this is from the Belle Tress Icons collection, and as you could see, she really doesn't touch very much on my back, my shoulders, my clothing, so she's been perfect for work. And I really find that the maintenance on Beckham, the two pieces that I have, has just been so easy. I've done no changes to this Beckham in Truffle Cream R. She is right out of the box. I wear her just like this. I haven't applied any heat to her for changing her, I mean. And this one I haven't even applied heat maintenance yet. And I've worn her at least 8 or 10 times for a full day at work, like 8, 9, and even 10 hours. So anyway, the lace front is holding up beautifully, as you could see. Belle Tress did bring those lighter fibers forward to give a very natural look to this darker root. I would say, the City collection and the Icons collection, they have a lot of number 8 rooting, but this is definitely a darker root. It might be a 2 or at least a 4. And then it has this lovely kind of a neutral blonde highlighting. And I really like it, even though it's highlighted, it's not very, very chunky, and it's blended with all the other colors. So this kind of reminds me of the City collection color Buttered Toast Rooted, but my Buttered Toast Rooted is one of the first pieces out. So the very beginning of Madison in the City collection, and it was very chunkily highlighted. And because there's not a lot of in-between colors blending the highlight with the number 8 medium brown, it wasn't my favorite look on me. I prefer a few other colors to tie everything together. I have good daylight in the room right now, so this is showing very true to the color. And I do think it's neutral, but it leans, I would say, somebody could look at it either way. I see it leans a little bit warm, I would say. But the little curtain bang on Beckham, as you could see, it's a bit longer. And all I ever did to Beckham was that. I just did that. And when wigs are brand new right out of the box, these heat-friendly synthetics, they really tend to be silky and almost like just really soft, and it moves on itself all the time, and it makes them really kind of fall forward a little bit more. And also, depending where you part your full monotop pieces like this one is, you can part it anywhere. Depending where you part it, it might also make a bang flop onto your forehead more. But where I part it, just left of center, and where how I've done this a few times, and after wearing 1 or 2 times, They kind of absorb your body heat and the texture changes. And I find that they behave better style-wise. So I don't have to fuss with my Beckham at all very much even when I'm at work. I can look down, I can turn my head. It is face framing, because typical of most bobs, you do have a bit of forward hair, forward of your ears, framing your face. But she is definitely not covering my forehead. If I wanted her to, I could give her, I believe, a deeper part, and then I would be able to train her to cover the forehead more. This is on the right side, and then I could probably do the same on the left, but I would have to take a simple hot comb from Amazon and just like train those roots to stay back a little bit more. And it's really not that much work at all. But she just is a lovely piece. I am definitely going to be ordering more Beckhams in the future, because I don't want to ever not have this wig available to me, because I could just live in this wig. I love it so much. I would wear it every day. But I do like to have a bit more fun with my wig wearing than wearing the same style every day. Like, I love to wear my Euro Chic by Tressalure when I go out. It is my favorite longer bob. But this is Beckham in Truffle Cream R. And the second Beckham that I have to show you is Beckham in Sparkling Champagne Rooted. And I will show you the cap. This is Belle Tress's partially hand-tied cap. So we do have the hand-tied portion, a little bit stretchy and very soft and comfortable. We have the hand-tied portion of the top. It's not really a monofilament. It is a different fabric, a slightly different fabric. It's a little bit maybe not quite as densely fine. Like I guess you know how in sheets they have threading, a thread count. I would say it's a little bit more open than a really dense, fine thread count. And it is, the bottom portion is closed wefted, so that's a little machine-made section, but it is closed to give that nice uniform hand-tied look. So we have a partially hand-tied. This provides a little bit more durability and structure to the piece. That's why you sometimes see it on hand-tied caps, therefore being partial. And then of course you have the Velcro adjusters, very convenient to adjust the circumference of the wig, and the felt covered extended nape. And Beckham does have these moldable ear tabs with the metal stay you could see in there. And they are fairly tiny, but they are only silicone or polyurethane covered. I'm not sure which one it is. And it is an extended lace front that goes well into the ear tabs. And now the thing about this lace front and this full top where it provides you parting variability, the Icons collection does do what they call cluster knotting. It is still hand tied, but it's not one fiber at a time. It's little clusters. So that does, some people do not feel that's their favorite look for a hand-tied top on a piece, but it really doesn't bother me. It makes the wig a little bit more affordable, and the Icons collection is what I consider to be a mid-price collection within Belle Tress, the Belle Tress brand. But I really don't mind how the cluster knots look. Some people think they show up a little bit more on dark colors. I haven't found it on my Truffle Cream R or my Sparkling Champagne Rooted, which is quite a dark, long rooted piece as well. So let me put Sparkling Champagne on for you. I do find that the fit on Belle Tress's Icons collection is, of course, one hearing aid came hanging out. There we go. I wanted to hear myself talk to you. I'll just take it off for now. Yes, any wig companies out there want to work with me for making a hearing aid friendly cap, I'm all in. Yeah, it's just a little inconvenience. It doesn't wreck wig wearing for me. Obviously, I'm super grateful for the options that wigs bring to my life with my receding hairline and my unstylable textured hair from years of chemical damage from coloring my gray roots. But I can't imagine myself without my wigs now. Although I still do go out with just my bio hair. I often wear hats or caps, and certainly just around my family and friends, I don't need a wig, but I just prefer it. I love it. It's such a great option. But so what I do is I just, see that one got a bit loose as well. I just scooch up the cap at the back so that it's not sitting on top of my hearing aid device. And I sometimes will mold the ear tabs up a little and just move them up. So with a dark rooted color like this, I can touch up my roots, my longer hairline. And you can do that as well, because not a lot of wigs will completely cover if you have bio hair still at your ear and temple area. So some people think those ear tabs should come much lower because hair might still be showing if they have bio hair still there, but it's really not where wigs are supposed to sit. Those ear tabs they should not be sitting in the crease of your ear. And even though this Icons collection is known to fit a little bit on the smaller side of average, I hear a lot of people say that, and that is my own personal experience as well. The cap, even though I have a little bit of loose cap, it's not as much as some average caps. So I love the fit on Icons for me personally with a petite measurement. I'm 20.5 circumference and I'm 11.5 ear to ear and 11.5 or 12 if you count how low my hairline goes, hairline to nape. But if you have an average measurement being like a 21 circumference or a 22, you'll still do fine with the Icons collection. You won't be swimming in it as much as some average caps if you are petite like me in your head measurements. So anyway, I just make adjustments for my hearing aids and it works out fine. So this is Sparkling Champagne Rooted, a very beautiful neutral blonde. I think many people's undertone can wear this color. What I love about it as being a darker eye and darker eyebrow person, I love that they've brought that root a little bit deeper into the wig everywhere. So it really works for us gals that still have darker eyebrows. And I think that if you are a brunette, you might graduate to feeling super comfortable in a color like Sparkling Champagne Rooted because you see those roots all throughout. So it really looks like you're still a brunette, but you've gotten a really nice blonde salon color. So I really just love that. And like I said about Beckham, she is the quintessential little perfect classic short bob. I don't know why I love bobs so much. I have my whole life. I think it's growing up in the 70s and 80s. And when Dorothy Hamill, the famous figure skater, had a haircut kind of similar to this. But yeah, that's Beckham. Really, really cute. And I have worn this one as well about, at least 6, 7, 8 times to work. And I have done heat maintenance on this one once. So she only needed it just a little bit at the ends here. So I sprayed with my handy dandy fine mister that I got at Value Village. And then you brush it out first to make sure it's totally detangled, and then you run the straightening iron just over the ends like that, and I just slightly curve in on the second pass just to try to maintain the shape that Beckham came to me with. Now, however, I have trimmed this Beckham at the back. So I don't know if you can notice she's a little bit shorter than my other one, just because I liked that angled look. And I did give Beckham a little tousled wave look at the back. I just sometimes like that with my bobs, a little bit of messy at the back. Now, the next bob I want to show you, I've never worn yet. She still has the tag on. A beautiful, beautiful piece by Jon Renau. This is Dawn. And what I did with my Dawn, I did pop her on when I first got her, and I did see that she was really forward in the front, like a little bit of what we call a face flopper. So I sprayed with water, and I just twisted, and I kind of tightly pulled back, just like that, and she's been on a wig stand for about a week. So when I pop her on, I will see if that has improved things, because sometimes that's all I have to do with my wigs. I did that with my Tressalure Euro Chic, and I never even had to apply heat to get it off of my forehead. So we'll see if that also happens with my Dawn. One thing I want to tell you about this Dawn is the fibers just feel like silk. They are just really, really, yikes, just really, really gorgeous. So let's pop her on here. Well, I'll show you her cap first of all. Dawn is part of the HD collection by Jon Renau, like I said, but she's not hand-tied like Holly is. So she is an open wefted machine-made cap here, and then she has a full monofilament hand-tied top and a beautiful extended lace front that extends halfway down into the felt-covered moldable ear tabs. And she has a regular length, non-extended, but beautifully soft, velvety covered nape, and of course the Velcro adjusters. So I'm not even sure where I usually part center or just slightly left of center. So we'll see where this Dawn wants to go. And this is of course the beautiful color 12FS8, and that is Shaded Praline. One of, I would say outside of the California blondes, Shaded Praline is one of the most popular Jon Renau colors. So I can't quite tell it feels like I have it in about the right place, approximately 4 fingers there. So I think considering the first time I put this Dawn on before I clipped it back for a week, yeah, she was kind of flopped a little bit more forward. So I probably could get away with just wearing her like this, but I might want to still do a little bit of pinning back, and then from about the midpoint, I would spray and run the hot comb through, and then clip that down, let it cool, and then I would go into the next section right here. Spray, and with the hot comb, run it through like that, clip it back, let it cool, and that cooling process helps to retrain the roots. I might have to do that a few times. And then even when you get near the lace front there, being mindful not to hit your lace front, you could go back and then clip it back. Same thing, let it cool, and you would be retraining those roots that sometimes have a tendency to angle forward. And also these are super silky fibers, so that adds to the fact when it's brand new of the falling forward. And I think after wearing a few times, it would really, wow, the ear tabs have really nice coverage on me. They're sitting just about perfect, not right in my ear crease. And then I would just, blend in with, that's why I always go for rooted. So if you have bio hair and you're in dark eyebrows, rooted might be great for you too. That said, not everyone loves rooted blondes or rooted grays. And I certainly understand that. There's nothing wrong with our preferences in this whole wig journey. We all have to figure out what works for us and what doesn't work. That's why I like to make these videos for you still when I can, even though I'm so busy working at Chiquel in Oakville, and I'm just loving it, and I'm loving meeting all of you. But I want people to still watch YouTube videos, because that is where the information really sinks in, I think. Reels are great for styles, and they do teach us things as well. But the longer format, I think, really makes us take in the information about cap construction and lace front, temple to temple lace front, or extended lace front. They all have different meanings, and it all helps us to confidently order wigs online for ourselves. Let's also take a good look at Dawn's lace front. I did want to ask you what you think there. If you can really see that Jon Renau's lace front does look a little bit light for my personal summer complexion right now in my undertone. Now, I find that my Belle Tress lace fronts on the Icons and the City collection and the Luxe collection, they melt into my skin tone perfectly, but sometimes you don't get that exact perfect match. So I might try to adjust that a little bit with a little bit of a compact press powder. I think some people do put like liquid foundation, but I'm not the best with actual makeup. So I will probably just use a compact press powder and see if I can blend that in a little bit more. But let me know what you think. I don't think it really looks bad, but it's certainly nicely done. that's for sure. And on this beautiful color, Shaded Praline 12FS8, it is another bit of a longer rooting, and I really personally love that effect. I'm not sure if you do or not, let me know, but I think that it is a slightly warmer color than the more neutral champagne rooted from Belle Tress in the Icons collection. It definitely has neutral to leaning a little bit cooler or ashy, and I feel blessed that I can actually wear both with my skin tone because I do have an undertone that is neutral. So yeah, I do like the slight ashiness of champagne rooted, and especially being a salt and pepper gray, I think it kind of suits my age. And I also love this Shaded Praline being slightly warmer. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And I did want to show you as well on Dawn. You can see, because this is a very good brand, Jon Renau is top quality, and this is a very good piece. They have that strengthening little line that is there for better structure and strength from balancing out the pressure on your lace front so that you don't get as much tension. It just kind of disperses it all over the cap, but you can sometimes see that striping. So a lot of people don't like that, rightfully so, but there is a little trick to take care of that. What I will do when I wear my Dawn is I will apply a little scar tape or a little, this is called moleskin. You can get it at the Canadian drugstores. And this one, I think I got at the drugstore as well. You can see that there's quite a selection of range of skin tones that what you do is you apply these with their one sticky side, and they both have the same color on the other side. I'll show you. So, or similar color. So this one, you put that sticky side up and you get the illusion of one solid color there. So you won't see a little bit of my silver gray hair, a little bit of my beige wig grip, and then that striping effect that you sometimes find in high quality brands. So then this one is a little bit lighter, and it's the same side under the adhesive side. So you put that adhesive side up, which would be more of this color. I set them a little bit back, and then sometimes I will trim with the pinking shears there just to help blend it in. And then of course it only shows during that illusion of part line on the monofilament. But it's a super good trick anyway for just keeping that a more uniform look on the part, the illusion of scalp, and to hide any different colors you may have going on there with a wig grip or a little bit of striping on the monofilament or your bio hair. Good trick. So one of the other differences about Dawn compared to Beckham is Dawn has a longer front. She's more just slightly tapered on that longer front piece. It's ever so slightly shorter, but she's not really like an official curtain bang. So for me, Dawn is going to be not a piece that I would wear to work, because I feel even if I get her trained back to stay back a little bit more, she still would have the tendency to cover my peripheral vision at work and stuff like that. So I like Beckham's curtain bang for that effect, just to stay back a little bit more. But I can hardly wait to use my hot comb on her and wear her out for dinner or out with the girls shopping for the day, something like that. I really do love this look. And she gives that slightly stacked look in the back, which I think is so traditional with a shorter classic bob. And I just cannot get over these fibers. Really, really amazing. Yeah, really nice. Oh, I thought I stepped on my hearing aid. It was just the cord of my straightening iron. Anyway, there's a really quick look at Dawn. Heat-Friendly Fibers by Jon Renau and her beautiful cap with a full monofilament, and a quick look at Beckham, the Icons collection. Really perfect for people that want a slightly smaller fitting, partially hand-tied cap. Although, like I said, I still have quite a lot of stretch on the circumference of my Icons collection, and it's still even a little bit large for me in the ear-to-ear measurement. So if you're average, feel free to still order any of the Icons pieces. Anyway, these 2 lovely brands and 3 lovely short classic bobs. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me. Take care.